Okay. Back. Ads are starting in a sec. Somehow my throat feels worse. Yeah. I want to make it through this. I want to make it through this and then do a proper send off. Pet ads are starting in like a sec. I'm gonna drink a lot of water during that break. And then I'll do the rolls. Okay. Throat is killing me, but I picked the right wall perks to save all of this lunacy for. An Anglefin spent during the event period be recorded. Spending Anglefin is similar does not count towards your spending count. However, each of the spend counts as 20. Okay. Love the erroneous sound effects. Oh, my throat is like awful.
이 날개의 망치라는 놈들은 항상 이 시간마다 바쁘군. 또 쓸데없는 저녁 찬미를 하러 몰려간.
Second, third rerun. Interesting.
이 날개의 망치라는 놈들.
No story mission. No mission this time. But they'll do an Enclefin event. So I'm going to assume a bunch of things when it comes to Ryoshu's Kanto and the importance of Kali, which is why Gebura's in this one as one of the announcer. Either way.
이 날개의 망치라는 놈들은 항상 이 시간마다 바쁘고.
Three 10 pulls, 70 extract tickets, nearly 20,000 lunacy. No. Okay. Gregor on first pull. Those have to be 2 stars.
저희 집 꽃은 사람 폈는데 이골이나 있는데 말이죠.
If my throat wasn't killing me, I would be Huh? That's it. Like, that's just it. Done. Done. I guess I just pull for Gebura now. That's the only, literal only thing left to do. It's not like I can't build up another 200 by the time the next wall perks comes. So like... Like now I'm just building up shards.
당신을 반드시 집행하겠습니다.
이 구속구가 나의 폭력을 저지하기엔
Okay.
위장에 묵직히 얹히는 정신을 느끼리라. 흉악한 종탕이 저들을 관통하리라.
Fell bullet E song. What is going on? Do I have everything from wall perks now? I do. What the fuck? I just want the Gebura announcer. I've gotten her twice. I will spark for the Gebura announcer if need be.
오늘은 어떤 요리를 해볼까?
How many am I at? 7 more.
새로 들어온 놈들도 전부 뒤졌고.
Oh, cool. That is the 3rd time I've pulled her. That is the 4th time I has pulled her. The game knows how much I like Ishmael. And then one more.
여기까지 온 걸 보면 피 좀 봤다고 눈물 그럭그럭 같지 발목 잡지는 않을 것 같네.
Disciplinary.
챙겨팀의 개브라야. 당신이 겁쟁이가 아니라면 좋은 협력 관계 정도는 될 수 있겠다.
It's everything, and I might as well also just pull this.
이 날개에 망치라는 놈들은
That feels ridiculous. That's... I cleared out everything with that wall perks and I grabbed the one ego that like I was saving up for.
거기까지 낙장 불입입니다. 한 번 패를 냈으면 아무리 개 같은 상황이셔도 물릴 순 없죠.
I got Ishmael 4 times. The presence of observers in a gambling den does not guarantee that games played there will be completely fair and just. It's not even a moral obligation. Sometimes the rule itself may state that one may freely cheat as long as they manage to avoid the eyes of us observers. Or that even if we were to recognize certain sleights of hand, as long as no one else on the table calls it out, we're not necessarily obligated to intervene. The rules we were called today to observe were... It's 8 points to me. That beats mine by 2 points. 100 flower swirl. We were called to observe games of Huatu, an all-out war of flowers, like its namesake, and if you will, a battlefield wherein the blossoming chaos of sundry petals hides the poison-kissed weeds from plain sight. So while we overlook those who know their place and keep their underhanded tactics low-key. The hell? If a poisonous flower blooms too large and elaborate, drawing the ire of the other flowers, we cut it off by its roots. Observer, is there anything we can help you with? Behave yourselves. Overplay your tricks and we'll catch you. Remember, I'm sure I shared that rule with everybody before today's games began. I knew it. I knew that piece of shit's been cheating all night long. Gold tier sure is another level. Silver tier games don't have these keen-eyed observers to catch some cheaters. These casinos run on a membership system. The said membership system is a multi-tiered from silver to diamond. Of course, higher tiers provide additional benefits to the guests of J-Corp's gambling dens, but what matters more is that climbing the ladder grants access to seats in higher tier games. With higher tier memberships come higher stakes, higher rollers, and higher levels of security against the ever-present cheaters and tricksters in gambling dens. So the gamblers always dream of advancing their placement in the membership tier system. Silver tier games rarely ever hire us as observers. We don't come cheap, of course, but the silver tier game's smaller scale doesn't really warrant the scrutiny anyway. Gold is where people like us start showing up. We are hired to observe these professional level games and catch participants with particularly sticky hands, like this one. Come on, man. I know I've been on a roll tonight, but cheating? Really? You're breaking my heart here. You'd better have ironclad evidence to hit the brakes. And you must be new here. Do you really think your silver tier attitude will fly here? You think you're still at some dingy den where you can get off scot-free from scrutiny by being the loudest person in the room? Listen, I can't just sit here and watch you use wish power to blatantly flip one game after another in your favor, okay? Wish power, you little. Seriously, man, are you talking about this tattoo in my arm? This ain't anything special. It's just a tattoo of a centipede. What, too icky for you? That's a funny-looking centipede you've got there. Poor thing's only got 10 legs. Seems hardly enough to crawl about, given its size. Knew it had more legs earlier. What are you suggest? Oh boy, look at him go, spilling water all over his arm. Alrighty, take a good look at this. If it were wish power, tattoo sticker, scrubbing it like this. Scrubbing it like so would have erased it, yeah, but I suppose that excuse has worked for you before in silver tier games. But anyone who's been in the game for long enough knows about procedures that actually tattoo wish powers to your skin. Serves you right. That's what you get for disrespecting the observers present. What are you babbling on about, cheater? Huh? Let's see, where did I sense the strongest ripples? It's thanks to him that I managed to snag that wish power user too. Bingo. You placed a chip inside that Latu card, didn't you? That way you can tell what card it is even when it's face down. Sorry, I don't. Listen up, people. We're in J-Corp, the origin of both wish power and the singularity capable of locking anything safely. I know it's gotten a bit cheaper to lock little things like cards nowadays, but storing chips inside cards. This is such an obvious cheat, man. I see this exact trick at least twice a week. But they said these locks are literally impossible to open. You've got some nerve thinking that a professional observer like me wouldn't carry an F-Corp all-purpose unlocker fairy with me. Anyways, as per the rules stipulate, both of you are going to give up your hands. Arms out, please. Fuck it. Are these people ever going to accept the consequences of their actions? Just admit they got caught cheating, lose their hands, big deal. Why make a mess and end up writhing around with their entrails splayed across the floor? Nice try. That bullet cost me a damn fortune. Your fault for using inefficient weaponry. But I hope you weren't counting on beating us observers. Slice the runner from his shoulder down to its left hip. As for the pipe gun toting fool, chop off his arms, then cut him horizontally by his abdomen. Oh, neat. That's bright shaped. It is. Ironic. This is what they've been chasing all night, huh? I guess they found it. We apologize for the disturbance, everyone. The trouble has been taken care of, so please return to your games. And they're legging it. Oh well. I suppose I shouldn't expect gold tier gamblers to have the guts to return to their games after that. Yeah, I'd really like to observe a diamond tier game one day. That was quite impressive. How long has this guy been here? Excuse me, were you playing a game as well? Well yes, everyone seems to be using the J-Corp singularity and its variations with such abandon that I thought this was simply the kind of game you were playing. Hi, coffee. 100 flower swirl rule, was it? I decided to cool off and hide, given how it seemed to be getting a little too hot for my taste. You hid. Well, I only stopped by to see how gold tier games are played nowadays. I see very little has changed. Who could this be? So you're the representative of Jung's office, yes? You still have more techniques to learn to recognize, but you've got good intuition. Salutations. But what really stood out to me is how you managed to clean up the mess afterward. Very intriguing. Hold on, what are you? A sudden thought flashed through my head just as I was about to stop this silver gentleman from leaving. I should have been able to notice him despite the chaos, but I never picked up on his presence, even when he stood right in front of me. There's no other explanation. It's gotta be the veil. Isn't that perception locking technique exorbitantly expensive? If he was sauntering about with that tech like that and some overcoat, then he's gotta be in the diamond tier, or even blue diamond. This is at once an opportunity and a warning. Opportunity in that I've unknowingly managed to give a positive impression to a high-tier player, possibly expanding our clientele. And a warning in that if I couldn't pick up on those more techniques to learn to recognize, I never survive as an observer in the high rollers games. Well, well. Now that's something not even money can buy. There's no other way to put it. Looks like the biggest winner in today's game is me. $600. God damn. Whatever. Instant. $600. You've got to be kidding me. I only need 3, and then there's still the next up tie. Is there even, like, an Ishmael ego that I would want? No. I think I have everything that I would want for Ishmael. Yeah, no, there's nothing. There's nothing for Ish I would want. Is there something in standard fare? No. I have everything I could possibly want for Ish. The only thing would be uptying the rest of these. And that's just being extra. The Index, W Corp, She Association. They're using all kinds of techniques, just as I've learned.
하지만 어떤 상대라도 꾀뜰을 빈틈은 있기 마련이지.
The boss at the Thumb Summit, huh? Got it. Thanks for the warning. I'll carry your name to the grave, even if we end up getting purged. Resting his gaze on the skyscrapers outside the window, the child lit his cigar. I told him to watch his mouth since the thumb Sotocapo would be attending the summit. Sotocapo. Oh. And yet he's finally done it. It couldn't have been a more spectacular fail, too. Syndicates that swarm into a collapsed swing all have similar interests. Lay claim to at least one of the many alleyways of the back streets and keep a tight grip on it until they sell it to the new L Corp that will one day rise as a wing. The Thumbs probably set its sights on these parts. If Amalcia, Nadarino, and the Kurokumo clan are pulling back. Subtle Famalogy ain't getting pushed out though, which can only mean that leading members of Syndicate still get to keep their cuts. Subsidiaries like us are the ones breaking backs, only for the thumb to swoop in and stake its ground. As for our hot-blooded boss, guess he couldn't help asking why we gotta pull out empty-handed. The Night Owls, which the child's a member of, was one of the syndicates vying to claim their slice of the pie in the absence of the collapsed L Corp, all with the thumb's permission, of course. However, they were forced to take their hands off the whole business simply at the whim of the capo de capi, the padrino of the thumb. Perhaps he thought it too unfair. But the leader of the Night Owls couldn't hold his temper in check and asked that one question he should never have dared to ask. What difference did he hope to make by second-guessing the Padrino's intentions? A bit of careless talk, and we're suddenly painted red for the purge. Hard to believe the same unease I felt back when we were in the Enforcers of the Purge is happening for real. Anyone outside? Yes, Capitano. Send up the remaining crew to my office, and make sure to let them know what I'm about to say. Don't leave out a single word. The child gathered up what was remaining of the crew at the headquarters, but not the ones outside. He couldn't let the thumb find out that the Night Owls had been forewarned. No sense in dying for the ones who were already doomed, he told himself. Is everyone here? You all must have heard what happened at the Thumb Summit. We all knew the boss had a habit of jumping the gun, but none of us had an inkling it'd turn out like this. Can't wrap my head around it. To think we had the audacity to question the Capo de Capi's intentions. Is it our turn to get purged now? After everything we did to purge the other syndicates, how could it possibly turn on us? It wasn't surprising at all that the ranks and files started to blame their dead boss. Why couldn't you be our boss, Capitano? No use thinking about shoulda, coulda, wouldas. We can't deny it was that young streak. It was that young streak of his that helped us expand this far. Me, I like being out in the field, getting a little action. The boss would have been might have been impatient as hell, but damn if he didn't know how to keep us in business. For now, we gotta think of ways to stay alive. You can spit on the boss's grave later once we've saved our own necks. How about we cut through L Corp's nest and get to the other side of the back streets before the heat catches on? Fortunate thought. It was raining in District 12. The nest of L Corp, shrouded in a thin blanket of fog following its collapse, was the perfect place to move without drawing eyes. Any thoughts on where to go from there? How about V Corp? I heard some kind of monster tore through their nest and left it looking like a butcher's floor. The whole place is a real mess. By now, there should be somewhere we can stay holed up. Okay. Not a bad idea. But the question is, how do we even get there? L Corp's nest and back streets have long turned into a hellhole where all kinds of pests come crawling in. Thumb subsidiaries like us, R Corp, and the Liu Association are all staring the place up like vultures on a carcass. One wrong move and we'd be dead before we even managed to get away. I say we lie low till sundown. We can use the night in the back streets as cover to get out. Wings may collapse, but don't forget that nests are still out of reach for sweepers. Getting out of L Corp's nest is one thing. Getting away from waves of sweepers when we're dead on our feet is another. So there's really no way out. With everyone at the wit's ends, a stifling silence fell upon the room. But the child remembered that they still had a way out. His instincts kept screaming that this might be jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. However, the fact was that the Night Owls simply had no other choice. The child's decision was already swaying toward the only exit available. We go to the library. That gives context to why they ended up going to the library. You managed to get an invitation. No, it was already on my desk when I heard what happened to the boss. As if we were being summoned there. Though the child's knowledge was by no means necessary for the collection of the one true book. I still hope that the library had a bookshelf to house the child's desperation for survival. Wait. Because Ishmael's is from the first person, this is from a third person. Though the child's knowledge was by no means necessary for the collection of the one true book, I still hope that the library had a bookshelf to house the child's desperation for survival. This is from Angela's perspective. Because that's why I'd had that invitation given to him. Angela. If that's our Capitano's order, we follow. Drop the formalities. We're on the same boat. We don't have the time to mind the thumb's rules between us at this point. Just speak up if you have any suggestions. We need all the ideas we can get if we want to increase the odds of our survival. Going to the library is way too risky. Word is, even grade 1 fixer offices are backing out of contracts that have to do with the library. Imagine those money hounds actually eating penalty fees just to stay away. Yeah, I wonder why. Not just the fixer offices, even the fingers are calling it a graveyard. There were index procytes who went missing there not long ago. Yeah, sucks to be them. The index, huh? Of course the index. Now that I think about it, they went to the library too. And if there's any truth to that rumor, we might be able to gather valuable intel on the index in the library. The book of the index. That would be a bargain enough for the thumb to overlook our boss's insolence. Are you sure about this? There's not much left before we're purged the last man. Those of you who are thinking of backing out, now's the time. I'm going to put my name on the invitation. It's been an honor, Capitano. Hope we meet again someday, Capitano. I hope you'll survive no matter what. So, even out of desperation, and even though he does die, no, he still made it back. So he did survive the purge. Some of the crew bowed deeply to the child and left the office. I trust in your judgment. Rumors always get blown up. The library, huh? I'm pretty confident we can bring it down. The majority, on the other hand, stayed and waited for the child to sign the invitation. Let's set off. I thought the rumors were exaggerated. Guess there's a reason they call it the library. Never imagined it'd be this massive. Oh my god. Greetings, dear guests. May you find your book in this place. Figured nothing really phases you past a certain age. To think that a fixer in the uniform of a Shi Association South Section would show off Kurokumo's sword technique. He's talking about using the different card sets. So that's how it looked like to them. Yeah, because to them it would just look like a huge hodgepodge. But that means it's past Shi. And is that our corpse combat style this time? Color me surprised. With calm and calculated footwork, the child slid past the gleaming arc of an assistant librarian's orange blade. The sudden thrust attack immediately followed, but the child sidestepped it and pressed into his opponent's outstretched arms. Not a single opening to strike. However, the child's pointed peg leg, which sparked as it raked across the floor, was blocked before it could pierce through the opponent's neck. Oh, you alright, Capitano? Not in the slightest. Though we at least have some fighting chance when we took down the Index Polystate wielding Lee's Association Flames. This is so cool. This is in the middle of a fight in the library. So from a normal person's perspective, they're seeing somebody who either looks like Index, but then using Liu abilities, or somebody who looks like a fixer using someone who looks like a fixer with garbs from Shi, but using Kurokumo movesets. How many of us are still standing? How high are the emotions running? Half of our men are dead. These librarians, the rumors have gotten nothing on these monsters. Shouldn't we just call it quits and cut our losses? These bastards are no monsters. They're humans, just like us. Humans who are afraid of getting killed. What do you know? They must have a gap or two we can exploit. For an instant, a surge of emotion cracked the child's mask of composure before he impaled the librarian, killing them. Perhaps it was the sight of their unflinching leader fighting that inspired them. This is describing the emotion rising mid-fight. That's so cool. Because the rest of the crew charged into battle once more, the firm grip on the hilt of their stilettos, a testament to their renewed morale. Those freaks, how'd they get so much power? Why did we have to take the fall? Predictably though, whatever hope they managed to muster came to a rather grisly end. Every time the curtains closed. Some of them would be squashed flat by a giant teddy bear, gnawed and torn apart by frenzied fairies, and roasted alive in giant pyres. That's... I think that's no. I think that's Malkuth's abnormalities. I think those are Malkuth's abnormality pages. Because that's talking about turn about by the frenzied fairies and giant pyres. I think that's talking about fourth match flame. That's also talking about the fairy. I can't remember its name. Midsummer. But that also means that they have 3 different abnormalities. So this is still progress that is occurring in Library of Ruina. Because this gives context to how far... yeah, this is Malkuth. Because that Scorch Girl... that Scorch Girl, Happy Teddy Bear, and Fairy Festival. No Queen Bee, no Snow White's apple. So that is at least level 3. That is 3 realizations. Interesting. In the end, the last man left standing was the child. Patron librarian. Yeah, it's going smooth. Too soon to be rejoicing, though. Floor of history. Too soon, huh? Yeah, it's too soon to give up. I didn't come all this way just to snuff it, like a damn dog. The outcome wouldn't change no matter how hard the child fought against the odds. But that shouldn't suggest that the child's struggles were meaningless. because the emotion fueled by his determination must have become ample sustenance for the library. Now, let the child press on. May his resolve never waver, even as the end draws near. Let us watch him together through the window. That's so fascinating. That's the furthest we've gotten into the library. That's the furthest we have seen literally directly into the library. Angela spoke. Malkuth spoke. So if Malkuth's at third, this is library. This was Urban Plague. He mentioned she. He mentioned Index. Yeah, that means Malkuth would have been at her. Malkuth would have been at her third episode. I'm trying to think. Because genuinely the fun part about a lot of these, the fun part about a lot of these is figuring out where in the story those things are happening. Because if he's talking about she association, he's talking about Index. That's early floors of Urban Nightmare. That's... Oh, we're getting high. We're getting high. At bare minimum, that is intro to chapter 2.1, because that's when the index starts showing up. That's real progress. That's so cool. That's so cool. That's crazy to think about. Anyway. I should actually properly read what your abilities do. Passive, Painless Mercy. Unless reused via external effects, Night Owl Capitano's skill, Mercy can be used up to 2 times per turn. Interesting. Purge Enforcer of the Familiarity. When this unit kills an enemy or breaks apart, gain 2. There's the Pierce power up, but that's once per turn. That's only if you have 2 Sloth and 2 Lust, but he can already generate that, no problem. When using a base attack skill, if this unit's speed is faster than the target's, inflict 2 defense power down on the target for every 2 speed difference. So that's... yeah, that's where your haste comes in. After an ally using a basic attack skill, if the enemy core has 20% less HP, use Mercy on a target once per turn. If there's only one surviving enemy after an attack, the passive also activates when a target is staggered. Aim for the gap. One ally with the highest speed when using a base attack skill. If this unit's speed is faster than the main targets, inflict defense power down on target for every 3 speed difference. So that's the same. That's the same as Purge. It's just slightly higher speed requirement, but that's basically the same passive. That's really nice. Gain 1 haste per turn. Gain 1+ coin power for every bleed and tremor on target. Inflict tremor, inflict bleed, inflict open wound. Turn end, gain 1 bind next turn. Turn end, add 2 stack, replace this effect with deep wound. That's why it's 2. The skill does not trigger defensive skills and cannot gain ego resources. Coin power +1 for every 20% missing HP on enemy. Core, max 4. He just gets better as an enemy gets closer to dying. +1% damage for every 1% missing HP on enemy core. Okay. If the enemy core has less than 20% HP, deal 120 damage instead. Okay. What causes you to trigger Merce though? That's a single point. Stiletto Doppio. Coin power +1 for every bleed/tremor, so you want bleed and tremor. Inflict tremor and trigger tremor burst, then reduce target's count by 1. That's on a clash win. That's just on win, and then that inflicts count up. If the enemy has less than 20% HP, or if the target has fatal wound, use Merce. Ah, interesting. On tremor burst, gain +3 point. Oh. Cannot gain open wound and focus encounters. Cannot gain open wound and focus encounters depart. Gain bind equal to stack. Okay. You're just constantly applying them with debuffs. So your main thing is focusing around deep wound or open wound. Because what was it? This turns into deep wound at 2 stacks. Target has deep wound, activate Night Owls instead. Coin power +1 for every bleed and tremor, so you want bleed and tremor. Inflict 2 tremor and trigger tremor burst and reduce it by 1. 3 bleed, 1 tremor, another open wound. Okay, it's not worthless. Amplitude conversion to tremor hemorrhage. Tremor hemorrhage. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Trigger tremor burst, then reduce target's tremor count by 1 if the target is staggered or has fatal wound. If the enemy core has 20% less HP, use Merce. Deal 15 for every haste on. Wait. Oh, wait, this cashes out with haste. Deals 15% damage for every 1 haste on self plus bind on target. If the target has a shield, deal 30% more damage and focus encounters this core or parts. Deal 1 damage. If the enemy core has 20%, unused, inflict 5 defense level down. Oh my god. Coin power +1 for every bleed/tremor. Tremor hemorrhage. Okay. Dire Straits. For this turn, increase the number of times Merce can be used when triggered by the effect. Purge and Enforcer of the Familiarity. Wait, that's by this. After an ally uses a base attack skill, if the enemy has 20% less HP, use Merce on a target once per turn. But if you do this, when triggered by the effect of purge enemy familiarity to 2 per turn, so he gets 2. Gain 1 haste next turn. Gain coin power for every. So you're bleed tremor. So you two are going to be very fun together. Speaking of, that reminded me. Because because I got very fortunate. Almost too fortunate, I'd say. I think Harika just killed, gain +2 poise count. Sad reason was pride, gain highest resonance time 2, torn memory instead. I want that. So gain 60. I might just do a mirror dungeon with this right now, actually. Oops. I got very fortunate with this. Because what does this need to build? Wrath and Pride. He already built that natively. She builds Wrath. You can build Pride. What do you want for Contempt? Lust and Envy. Pride, Lust. Pride, no. Pride, Wrath, Lust. Envy, Wrath, Lust. Sloth, Lust, Pride. And then you just gain everything. Like, the only thing that you don't have is Lust. Then you do Tremor. You do Tremor Sinking, so still Tremor. So then if I want to run these 4 together, it would be Bleed, Tremor, Focused. Bleed, Tremor, Focused with a bias towards Pride skills. Pierce. Pierce, Pierce, Pierce. Slash, slash. You would be Pierce, you would be Slash. So then I would want you to. But then I would want Yearning on you. So it'd still be more bleed focused. And then here's the big thing that's gonna take me like a bit to actually like fully understand. Because this mainly focuses around this. Shuffle Hands Floral Deck. Discard 2 skills of the lowest rank in any of this unit's skill slots once per turn. So of the Tues rank. So of the ones most likely to be discarded, it is this one, Tsurugi, with the potential of Suzuki. If this unit, if the skill has equipped on its unit's leftmost skill slot, convert the suit in this unit's hand to a random suit that corresponds to one of this unit's base attack skills next turn. Once per turn, excluding the suit already in this unit's hand. So if you put it in your leftmost skill slot, it shuffles. Yeah, it'll shuffle for one of these 3. But doing that will also discard your 2 lowest cards. So if you just want the discard effect, you put in the right one, but if you want the shuffle of the suit, then you put in the left. 50% chance to gain Bright Potency once per turn. I can snooze that for a sec. Coin power plus every 2. Bright on self, max of 2. Turn start. This unit does not have bright, gain 0 bright potency and 3 bright count. So your unique charge. This unit does not have any suit in hand. Gain a random suit. Red, yellow, or blue. That corresponds to the base attack. That corresponds to a base attack skill on this unit's leftmost skill slot. Okay. Combat start. When this unit uses a base attack or a skill ego equipped on its leftmost skill slot, activate the following once per turn. Either a base skill or an ego skill to the leftmost slot, so slot 1. Activate the following. Next turn, convert the hand on itself to one of the corresponding to the used skill's affinity. So if she has a red, this means you also really want to mess with your ego. So basically, if she has a red, let's say that she has a red in her hand, because this also works for ego. If she uses Snag Harpoon, I'm assuming. No, because it would be, yeah, it would be. So if she uses Snag Harpoon, then it would switch the Pine Crane to Blue Sakura. So one's corresponding to the used skill affinity. If the skill was either Sakura Sen or an ego skill, gain 1 bright potency. So if it's an ego, you gain bright. But if it was Sakura Sen, which is the gloom skill, then you gain bright. If the skill's affinity matches the affinity of the current hand, so basically if she has Tsurugi and her hand is red, activate the following. Gain bright. If this hand gain 1 bright. If this unit formed a hand last turn and this turn in succession, gain 1 bright potency. So you want to, ow, I just bit my tongue. You want to match what you're using. On hit with said skill, trigger Tremor Burst, then reduce the target's Tremor count by 1, so you still also want Tremor. 25% chance to gain 1 ego resource corresponding to the skill's affinity. So 25% chance at random, just gaining additional ego. At the skill's end, at 5 bright potency or 0.5 bright count, use Kozan. At 5 bright potency or at 0 bright count. That's why this gives you bright count. So you either lose it passively, that gives you 2 ways of getting there then. Because it means you either actually use the cards or you avoid using corresponding suits so that you lose bright. Because then if you lose that bright to have 0 count, then you get Kozan still. But you still want bright, because why would you not, since you gain offense level up for every potency. On Tails hits, heal 5 SP, deal 10% more damage against targets with their lower in either low morale or panic states. When ally with lace SP uses base attack skill to heads hit, it heals 5 SP 2 times per turn, excluding allies at minus 40 or lower. So it helps, but it's still a little bit off. That's super cool. But what does this do? A less than 3 bright potency, cancel the skill. At less than 3 bright potency, cancel the skill and gain attack power up next turn. So if you're at 0, you gain 3 potency regardless. It'll fix it for you. But when you're at plus 3 bright potency, gain the following effects based on potency, but then you still attack. So you either can use it to gain flat power up, or you get it for the attack. Per 1 potency, the skill deals 10% more damage. At 4 potency, base power plus 1. At 5 potency on a hit, with the final reuse coin, trigger Tremor Burst 2 times and reduce the target's Tremor count by 1. Lose bright on self. Okay. I think I understand how this works. I want to use this in mirror dungeons. I want to see it in Mirror Dungeon. 1, 2, 3. Because it's going to be Bleed, Tremor. Snoozing that again real quick. Because I don't care what's going on with this. All that I really care about is experimenting with this right now. Bleed, Tremor, which makes me think that I want to use Blood Fiends, but I'm probably not. I'd be better off focusing entirely on Tremor instead of trying to mix the two of them. One ally with the slowest speed takes damage. But that doesn't stop him from being useful, especially with Crushbound Pass. Oh, right. I should be thread spinning this. Because that also inflicts tremor. Would you look at that? It rhymes. Because now I'm no longer using this for Heathcliff. Whoops. Rat Chain of Others. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can fit 2 more. Or very likely I could just fit 1. Oops. What do you have that's good for... Might just be Whispers, though. Heal one ally with the least SP for 15. That might just be better. Actually, no, because she would give me type coverage for Blunt, because I don't have anybody else who's really doing that. Use Rose Banner for the passive. So passive. Thumb Capo, I wish I could use you. But Hemorrhage is too useful, especially with the Night Owl. But I could also either just lean entirely in on Pierce, or also just focus on Slash. But then what's the other... Do I have another Slashing Tremor ID? That's the question. I don't think I do. It is windy. Do that because it's bleed. And then I'll do this because it's bleed. Actually, because I could use your Triggers Tremor Burst with Scalar. Scales an additional Tremor Burst. No, that's useful because I want you in skill 1 anyway. Because you would be triggering Tremor Burst. Would you? Would you? Yes. Okay. Yeah, so I'll use this team for Mirror Dungeon. And I have ads coming up in a sec. So I'll be right back. But yeah, no, let's go in with this. Because this just seems like fun. I'll probably also have to adjust the ego though. Just a test. Like that. I'll also do... No, I can't do both. Okay, I'll be right back then. I'm doing this now just so I don't forget.
여기까지 온 걸 보면 피 좀 봤다고 눈물 그렁그렁 닿지 발목 잡지는 않을 것 같네.
Okay, we should be good to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't want anything that's gonna mess with the units too much. So I'd rather just get ones. I'd rather just get ones that are these. I'm also gonna have to make sure to tune up the to be pierced. Perfect. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6.
마지막까지 발버둥 칠 수밖에.
If only Gregor gets a slot, I'll end up switching Ish first.
우리 부서의 직원 숫자가 월등히 적은 것에는 다 이유가
이미
있지만
입회 중입니다.
Oh, it shows you just by looking at the light. That's really
하자는 뜻도 된다는 점을 명심해주면
good
좋겠어.
reason my department is for It shows you briefly with the light, so you don't need to look too much.
빠르게 처리하지. 빈틈투성이군. 스틸레터.
징계팀 직원이라면 당연한 판단이긴 해. 잘했다는 칭찬은 생략하는 게 좋겠지?
You don't expect to be complimented for doing the bare minimum, do you? I'll take the bare minimum if it's only from you. She has red though, so I want to shuffle. Not really working with a lot here.
퍼레이드와 피날레.
The fact that the clash causes a tremor.
상체를 제압하는 건
Ooh, that's
우리만
bad.
충분하잖아. 패스드 같은 놈들은 이 광경을 좀
Chester
봐야
should
해.
have been here to witness this. We gauge abnormalities and squeeze energy out of
이
them.
정도 전투는
This level of combat
있어줘야지.
expertise should be standard.
우리 팀 애들만 데리고
Well, it uses the welfare team on its own anyway. She can't help herself but being annoyed about Chesed, even when he's not here.
퍼레이드와
일본은 이놈인가?
피날레.
나도 다들
This straight up might be one of the roughest starts that I've had in a while.
마침내 깊은 수면에 빠지지.
따스한 피. 스며드는군.
좋아. 코이코이. 경외감 속에 숨어게. 진빛형.
That's why I love her.
시선에 눈이 멀지 않.
죽지도 않는 것들이 겁을 집어먹다니.
Oh shit.
퍼레이드와 피날레.
Kosan.
산코. 올인이었나요?
Okay,
벗어날 수 있다고 생각해.
I see it now. I see the vision.
자세가 모르겠네.
정열스럽.
자비에 감사도.
있는 힘껏 찔러놓고 으깨놨지만 저것들은 언젠가 다시 재생하겠지.
The Sagami components are broken in fraction and battled, only to be soon replaced and repaired.
다시
What a
교체되는
perfect little
것처럼.
hell just for me.
이 얼마나 완벽하게 그지없는 나만의 지옥인가.
I'm so biased. I'm so biased that I get to enjoy it being Lobcourt Gebura.
자, 판 돌아갑니다.
Turns out I like my big angry women.
부서의 직원 숫자가
The reason why
월등히
determine a
적은
sphere
것에는
place
다
than any
이유가
other.
있지만
However, I want you to keep in mind that it also means that only the best are have gathered here.
명심해주면 좋겠어.
I love her. Contemptuous thing.
나선 속을 벗어날 수는 없다. 그 시선 경멸스럽고.
죽지도 않는 것들이 겁을 집어먹다니 역겹군.
She just sees them as abnormalities. Interesting.
꿰뚫어 퍼지리.
That's annoying.
빈틈 투성이군.
스켈레톤.
이것 봐. 환상체를 제압하는 건 이걸로 충분하잖아.
It also means that Red Eyes is going to be very nice.
이것이 서로의 피날레다. 허술하기. 자비에 감사도.
탈출 개체가 정리되었습니다.
Just gotta be sure the woman you're chasing after is angry where it counts most.
그렇게
I think
분명히
her
갖는 거야.
Cradle that undeterred wrath. Cradle that undeterred wrath, just like that. No, I think she's just angry.
꿰뚫어 퍼지리.
Justifiably. But the anger, I want to say, adds character.
징계청 직원이라면 당연한 판단이긴 해.
자비에 감사도.
잘했다. 있는 힘껏 찔러놓고
The anger is
으깨놨지만
deep within her heart,
저것들은 언젠가 다시 재생하겠지.
and that's what I love about her.
내가 부서지고 파괴되어도 다시 교체되는 것처럼. 이 얼마나 완벽하게 그지없는
I'm sure I'd rather do
나만의
this.
지옥인가.
이따위 일도 못했어.
Gathering skulls, which means I just gained another ego gift. Hi. I'm gonna close my eyes. Clash with a skill that consumes tremor count. Inflict +2 tremor count. I'll take that, because that seems funny. I want keyword tremor. Ally suckers an enemy that with the skill eagle that plays hunt self, tremor potency. First the bell, then this, then enhance this. Two turns for identity. I think these are fine. The single coin skill, or pride affinity skill, gain offense 2. Yeah, there's a bunch on this team that use pride, so we're fine. Pierce slash, gloom, gluttony.
눈 멀지 않게 조심하도록.
The damn
세미다선
fox.
최고의 전투부서 징계팀이 나설 시간이야. 환상체라고
These monsters
불러야
were
하는
obligated to call
거야.
abnormalities. Let's show them how
무대를
it's done.
보여주자고.
I think he'd be better at that.
빠르게 처리하지.
I love my boy using a gun on an umbrella.
환상체를 제압하는 건
감사하다.
Right.
충분하잖아.
여기가 빈틈투성이다.
Speaking of my angry women,
두려지 않아. 주악함의 모든 시선을 이끌릴지.
가끔 옛날 생각이 나곤 해. 나도 저럴 때
that too. I better get a good grip on my sword with a single split.
죄다. 죽지도 않는 것들이 겁을 집어먹다니 역겹군.
It's under contempt. One thing that I really like about this kit is that to use it effectively, you can't just win rate. Like, theoretically, you can just still win rate, but, like, you have to keep track of that color.
처리하지.
Like, you're highly incentivized to keep track of the color. You really can't just kind of sleep and autopilot with her.
자세가 무너졌네.
Oh my god.
빈틈투성이군.
스틸레터.
징계팀 직원이라면 당연한 판단이긴 해. 잘했다는 칭찬은 생략하는 게 좋겠지?
행진했군. 이것이 서곡의 피날레다. 왕의 비율을
우리 파괴.
하사한다.
Don't you dare stop swinging that weapon. You hear we're just getting started. Also another run. Prioritize the target with the least HP. That should be... No, can't do that.
당신
Can't do that or else I would just target a teammate. Cool, son.
주목과 비. 코코.
That's so satisfying.
따스한 피.
How are you not dead?
정신교육의 효과가 보이는군. 보다시피 직원들의 증오심은
You can see that the psychological training's been effective. As you can see, hatred is the engine that with which the employees beat these abnormalities to death.
탈출 개체 확인.
I love her.
올인이었나요?
있는 힘껏 찔러놓고 으깨놨지만 저것들은 언젠가
My
다시
my
재생하겠지.
mentality changed so much for this wall perks when I saw that Gebura was the announcer.
다시 교체되는 것처럼.
Like I had instantly
이 얼마나
only in
완벽하게
third slot.
그지없는
That means I have
나만의
to.
지옥인가.
I don't want to change where he is. Here's Gluttony Affinity. I'd rather take these two. I want this one though. I want this, but I can probably get it through something else. To be cleaved. All these kind of suck. All these kind of suck, but to be cleaved would be the most helpful for Ish. Oh, you. Comfort the pink droplet. Marcel?
이로써 더욱 수월하게
Child in a flask.
허리들을 버리겠군.
Third slot for Pierce. Okay, no, then she's fine. She's fine with that.
갑니다.
I prefer if it was Gregor, but Gregor's seemingly fine enough as is, so long as I keep applying slow. Or keep applying buy-in.
들어있어야 할 놈들까지 눈을 떠버렸나?
She has blind obsession. I can still... Damn, no, that throws that off. I need red eyes. Okay, I see something that I can make this work with then.
퍼레이드와 피날레.
It's not close, but it still works.
지켜보고 있었지.
It works very well.
이것 봐. 한 상처를 제압하는 건 우리만 충분하잖아.
이 스며들 듯한 비 우산이 새지나 않나 모르겠소.
가끔 옛날 생각이 나곤 해. 나도 저런
Yeah, they're just sad. And that's Black Dragon. Unfortunately, no. This one's more Spider Bud.
징계팀 직원이라면 당연한 판단이긴 해. 잘했다는 칭찬은 생략하는 게 좋겠지.
투성이군.
있는 힘껏 찔러놓고 으깨놨지만 저것들은 언젠가
Red eyes
다시
open
재생하겠지.
and then red eyes closed,
내가
which means I do need
부서지고
to
파괴되어도
adjust that
다시
in
교체되는
the
것처럼.
thing.
이 얼마나 완벽하게 그지없는 나만의 지옥인가.
Very high.
이로써 더욱 수월하게 퍼레이드를 버리겠군.
Slash lust envy.
마지막까지
Still fine.
발버둥 칠 수밖에.
These stupid
얌전히
chickens.
잠들어 있어야 할 놈들까지 눈을 떠버렸나?
She's using blue.
꿰뚫어 퍼지리.
Isan, you can't be losing to a chicken like that.
이것 봐. 환상체를 제압하는 건 우리만으로 충분하잖아. 사물. 앵화. 징계팀 직원이라면 당연한 판단이긴 해. 잘했다는 칭찬은 생략하는 게 좋겠지.
This should be easy. But yeah, she's also on blue again. This means she's better off switching.
탈출 개체 확인.
빈틈 투성이군.
스켈레터.
빈틈 투성이군.
산출을 눈높이를 낮춰라.
자세가 모르겠니? 자비에 감사도.
That's so effective.
찔러놓고 으깨놨지만
That's so effective. That's so
언젠가
nice.
다시 재생하겠지. 내가 부서지고 파괴되어도 다시 교체되는
Only to
거지.
the fifth ally slashing.
이
So I just
얼마나
changes who. So I just change who's in the fifth
완벽한
position.
나만의
Um,
직인가.
Change that to red eyes. Want to keep Christmas Nightmare. Her thing applies sinking, so bygone days would actually be better. Whoops. Still fine, still fine. Yeah, I think those are all still fine. Tomorrow's fortune is to get the pass up. Chickens are fairly dangerous in games. The cuckoos and Legend of Zelda. These ones are just like... They're more annoying than outright dangerous, but part of that... I will say it's not like entirely their fault. Like, they didn't ask to be eternally oscillating chickens. Eternally oscillating, like, semi-cooked chickens. It's like at the bare minimum, I can give them that.
전율하리라.
정신 못 차리게.
Oh, this is one I can kill in 5
무서워야
seconds.
아직도 겁쟁이가 남아 있었나 봐. 그 괴물 새끼들에게
Someone stick
홀리는
onto your
건
head. That's because you're
정신력이
weak-minded. It's all
부족한
about
거야.
mental fortitude.
기한만 있으면
Come
충분히
back
볼 수
from it.
있어.
Come back from it with an oomph. That's because somebody got affected by the... Yeah, no, she goes ballistic a little bit.
빠르게 처리하지.
기가 튀긴. 이것 봐. 환상체를 제압하는 건 우리만으로 충분하잖아. 헤세드 같은 놈들은 이 광경을 좀 봐야 해. 환상체 가두고 에너지 짜는 회사에서
So as long as I'm constantly double-checking what Ish is, like, actually doing,
팀 애들만 데리고선 뭘 한다고?
it's not too bad.
퍼레이드와 피날레.
He won that guard.
행진의 꽃. 이것이 선옥의 피날레다. 그래. 눈높이를
경쟁팀 직원이라면 당연한 판단이긴 해. 잘했다는 칭찬은 생략하는 게 좋겠지.
자세가 무너졌네.
Okay, I'm seeing where like the power of that comes from.
보다시피 직원들의 증오심은 환상체를 쳐죽이는 원동력이다. 당장이라도 마시려는
I like that look in their eyes, that they're just ready to grind them up and drink their blood. She's so intense. I'm really glad that that hasn't changed.
탈출 개체 확인.
하나, 둘대 심장. 아니란 빈틈 꿰뚫어주지.
위 파괴. 무기를 휘두르는 걸 멈추지 마. 이제 시작일 뿐이잖아. 있는 힘껏 찔러놓고 으깨놨지만
The two of them on their own just did like 800 damage.
내가 부서지고 파괴되어도 다시 교체되는 것처럼. 이 얼마나 완벽하게 그지없는 나만의 지옥인가.
Offense level up, HP up, damage taken. I'd rather get this. That's enemy. That's allies in 4. Fell slap by a bullet. That would have a lot of pierce. Ideally, it would have pierce. Equalizer. I like her too much. I will use any excuse to run to Chroma again. Yeah, that puts you on slashing, but I can't really remove Ish from 1 or 2. So I'd be better off. Yeah, if I can upgrade that or either just outright get rid of it.
나선 속을 벗어날 수 없다.
I'm sitting up, don't worry. I really could use the water though, thank you.
이 정도면 엔젤라님에게도 증명할 수 있을 거야. 이 일에 토끼 따위의 협력은 필요하지 않다는 걸.
Ow!
빠르게 처리하지.
Something about swallowing that like really messed with my throat.
그대로 꿰어소리라.
That completely threw me off from
구멍투성이가 되어
switching Ish's skill too.
자세가 무너졌네. 자비의 감사도. 빈틈 투성이군. 스켈레톤.
경쟁팀 직원이라면 당연한 판단이긴 해. 잘했다는 칭찬은 생략하는 게 좋겠지.
I'm going to be so happy when I'm able to actually rest my
직원들의 증오심은 환상체를 쳐죽이는 원동력이다.
when I'm able to actually rest my throat.
마시려는 저 눈빛 마음에 들어.
허레이드와 피날레.
I'm gonna take about 3 to 4 days and just try to not speak as much as I can.
눈높이를 낮춰라.
좋아, 코이. 무슨 말을 하고 있는 힘껏 찔러놓고 으깨놨지만 저것들은 언젠가 다시
It's a
재생하겠지.
swear spot or something related.
내가 부서지고 파괴되어도 다시 교체되는 것처럼. 이 얼마나 완벽하게
Whatever it is, I know that I probably I am, how do I say this? of everything, I will say that I'm happy that I learned
계획했던 대로 되지 않았나?
that I do have the endurance to do something like this.
돌아갑니다.
I feel very proud. I feel very proud of that.
얌전히 잠들어
Vocal
있어야
endurance,
힘들 거지.
however, is something slightly different.
출개체 확인.
Because I did audition for a couple of things and worked on some things throughout this, which definitely didn't help, but
봐, 환상체를 제압하는 건
yeah, no, I need the break is going to be nice.
상황이 끝나면 티페리트에게 방금 상황 녹화되어 있냐고 물어봐.
That is the most that I can really say. It's just that the break will be nice.
이 일에 토끼 따위의 협력은 필요하지 않다는 걸.
꿰뚫어 퍼지리.
But I will do that after I finish this mirror dungeon. Because there's no way that
이것이
I'm getting these two IDs and Gebura and not using them instantly.
왕의
징계팀 직원이라면 당연한 판단이긴 해.
Because that counts for blue suit.
생략하는 게 좋겠지?
내가 찾은 나만의 항해 방식.
That's so good. That's so good. That means whatever.
된 것 같습니다.
So what is it? I would need Wrath, so that's Chipotle. Or whatever.
허술하군.
No, so then that would work entirely with that ID. Because I would just be running those 3 ecos.
정신교육의 효과가 보이는 걸.
No, but I can't. Because either that or Christmas Nightmare.
쳐죽이는 원동력이다. 당장이라도 갈아
So it would be Adder Blossom,
마음에 들어.
I guess? I'd be running Adder Blossom or something. Definitely well deserved.
빠르게
Yeah.
처리하지.
우리는요? 산코.
She's so
있는
cool.
힘껏 찔러놓고 으껴놨지만
She's so cool.
언젠가 다시 재생하겠지. 내가
Now I get to have the fun experience of waiting and theorizing for the entire hey, Adder Blossom.
완벽하게 그저
Now I get to have the fun part of waiting and theorizing for the next wall perks and thinking about which IDs will come with that. Because it most certainly has to be Gebura. Pierce attack type skills, offense level 2 if the skill has 2 coins or fewer. Offense level +2 and clash. I will take this. Where is you? Please? There we go. All base skills. That helps make Pierce even better. I want to fuse for Tremor. No, Bleed's still useful. What's the other one that I actually wanted to sell? No, I think it's fine. I'll keep these. Because I can still use burn in some capacity.
자, 판 돌아갑니다.
그래, 그렇게 가라앉지 않을 분노를 담는 거야. 오늘은 쓸데없이 말을 내릴 필요 없겠어.
It is almost that time of the year. Unfortunately for Cromer, she's not gonna make it to that time.
당신 짝패군요.
Haha, unless.
행진의 꽃, 이것이 서곡의 피날레다. 왕의 비호를 가사한다.
3월 앵화.
한 상체가
Still
탈출했어.
up.
죽지도 않으면서 물의 고통을 느끼는 괴물 새끼들.
She got the tremor decay. And she has open wound, so it's fine. That's blue.
필요 없거든.
탈출 개체 확인.
Which means snack harpoon.
따스한 피 스며드는군.
자세가 무너졌나?
I'd be surprised if she doesn't die after this. That sound effect in the cards is so satisfying. Yeah, and then there's Kozan. Yeah, you're dead. I'm sorry. I'm really not though.
이것 봐. 한 상체를 제압하는 건 우리만으로 충분하잖아. 상황이 끝나면 티페리트에게 방금 상황 녹화되어 있냐고 물어봐.
Why did
이
Yi Song
정도면
get
엔젤라님에게도
gripped?
증명할
Whatever.
수 있을 거야. 이 일에 토끼 따위의 협력은 필요하지 않다는 거.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
Ooh, we're so lost at.
빈틈 투성이군. 스틸레터.
다른 부서에 있는 애고까지 가져오길 잘했지.
She almost has
적재
deep wound.
접수했으니까 이만큼 효율적인 일도 없잖아.
That feels so good, the fact that that works for ego too. Because that means that you also want to be very diverse when using ishes.
맞지?
Tentacles.
자세가 무너졌나?
죽지도 않는 것들이 겁을 집어먹다니 역겹군.
Inside a one cocoon. Now I know there's no undo. I have left to lose. I need pride skill here. She's at yellow. Where's this skill going? Ooh, yeah, actually that won't make it. It's targeting Ryoshu. Can you not target your teammates for like 5 seconds, please? I kinda need you. I need you to lock in, please.
당신 짝해보니
This is a group effort, Yi-Song. I understand you're using Fell Bullet, but like, please. That's fine.
좋아. 코이코이.
Goes on again.
무기를 휘두르는 걸 멈추지 마. 이제 시작일 뿐이잖아.
피가 튀고.
Cry view. Yeah, no, that's done. That's dead. The rest of this is just a formality. Her posture is unstable, her eyes are looking elsewhere. With the focus disrupted, we may be able to land a critical strike. Wrath.
이따위 일도 못했어.
헤세드 같은 놈들은 이 광경을 좀 봐야 해. 환상체 가두고 에너지 짜는 회사에서 이 정도 전투 능력은 있어줘야지. 복지팀 애들만 데리고선 뭘 한다고?
That's at red, but I don't think it matters. Like, she said regardless.
당신 짝패보이나?
Yep, and Mare did it.
가족이 되기엔 약.
있는 힘껏 찔러놓고 으껴놨지만
This is a fun team, aside from Faust feeling a little bit out of place.
내가 부서지고 파괴되어도 다시 교체되는 것처럼 이 얼마나 완벽하기 그지없는
Defense level, clash power, base power. I hate it, but I'll take defense level. Let's see. They're getting poise potency from skill effects. Hate you still. Lane 2 is a long battle. That'd be interesting though. Yeah, I want to see how this works in a long battle. This is for a poise gift.
보조 업무를 수행하기에 나쁘지 않은 일이네요.
Sinking is useful for Ish. So I'd rather do that to... So 2 more slash skills for this encounter, gain flash hearts up and gain haste. Apply it for 1 and 2. Skills that apply including self-tremor potency gain clash power +1. Sacrifice enemy, Okay. Can't upgrade you. I can at least switch a couple of you around. So then what if I try to fuse? 1... 2... and 3, because I'm not really using burn. Nothing I can really get. Is there something I can upgrade then? Okay, this is the real big test then.
그래, 그렇게 가라앉지 않을 분노를 담는 거야. 오늘은 쓸데없이 말을 늘릴 필요 없겠어.
I'm gonna do this. Steady count, gain plus weight. I'm trying to think. Trigger tremor burst. Target speed is lower in this unit, deal plus 5%. Inflict. I want to see.
퍼레이와 피날레.
I want to see if I can theoretically end this fight before it really starts.
맛볼 시간이다. 제압계 제게 맞는 공격 수단도 못 고르면서 왜 징계팀이 남아있지?
증기압축 피스톤 압력 제한 해제. 관측 완료된 시간 벡터 계산 완료. 축적된 과거 변형. 모먼트 값 유지. 발사.
That converted it? Damn it. And she hit tails for the first hit.
당신에겐 제가 어떻게
I form
보일까요?
in your eyes. Perhaps within the clockwork of time, the answer lies.
그 답이 있을까요? And now the mechanic starts.
나는 힘으로 찍어 누르는 제압에
More suited
중심이
to
맞춰져 있지.
expressing with force, not racking my brain over complicated matters. This is all yours to decide, manager.
관리자, 당신이 판단해야 해.
You instantly give up the second that you have to use your brain. Gebura, I love you, but Jesus Christ. Envy skills. Then the less resonance for this.
빠르게 처리하지.
그 시선.
이것 봐, 한 상체를 제압하는 건 우리만으로 충분하잖아.
I'm really reaping what I'm sowing by having not really fought this boss much before. What's worse is that this is a lion.
얌전히 잠들어 있어야 할 놈들까지 눈을 떠버렸나?
No, it's only wave 1 of 1 though. So it just means that it's gonna be a complex fight. Result, how did, oh, because of the tremor, never mind. I almost cursed you out for something that wasn't your fault. Though I guess that's pretty fitting to the source material. It's just the only one who could get that. Yep, and it overlapped. Perfect. Just because this would get the power up from it.
뚫어 퍼지리.
행진의 꽃. 이것이 서곡의
징계팀
피날레.
직원이라면 당연한 판단이긴 해. 잘했다는 칭찬은 생략하는 게 좋겠지.
Okay, and then Kozan finished that off.
마침내 깊은 수면에 빠지시는가.
What do you wish for? The sign asked the sinners. A rose can bloom only when you clearly wish for something. The heavier your sin, the deeper the color of petals will be. See, wish for it, knowing that it's a sin. Only then can you bloom such colorful roses. You have to bloom the roses. You want to escape this garden, don't you? Let me help you. Our only wish is that our garden will bloom full of flowers. Now what will you do? What colors do you want the flowers to take shape? Looks like the answer should be lust. Oh, how pretty. And so vivid too. Your sin was such a beautiful hue of lust. You've really made a fine addition to the garden. The color of lust. I'll plant it right next to me. Then, shall we play some more? This garden will become terribly beautiful with more sinful flowers we bloom.
이로써 더욱 수월하게
이제 남은 시간이 없어. 당장 눈앞의 희생을 신경 쓰지 마. 괴물들이 바깥으로 나가는 순간 직원들의 목숨 하나하나가 대수일 것 같아? 해야 할 걸 하자고, 관리자.
Please tell me. Okay, she's overlapping for that, so she'll be fine with that. I do not have anybody who can just beat that. I can't. That will just prioritize the lowest target, huh? In which case Yisong still can't do much. But I don't need to worry about that. This beautiful color of lust. I'd rather get the resonance on this. And just to make sure that this finishes.
탈출 개체 확인.
내가 너를 위해 기도할 것이니 넌 반드시 부서진다.
이래서 정비는 속성별로 준비해달라고 부탁했지. 적재 접수했으니까.
It's all about using the right tool for the right job. Cradling gaze of awe.
빈틈 투성이군. 스틸레터.
How does a flower have more sanity?
나를 감싸던 시선도
What do you wish for?
날 경멸하나 짜릿하군.
보시게 내 계획했던 대로 되지 않았나.
하지만 슬프다고 질질
No need to bother shedding a tear or mourning, though. A courageous death needs no waterworks. I have to make this work, like, really badly. He will not break that.
탈출 개체 확인.
자세가 뭐니? 자비에 감사도.
괴물이요? 무슨 잘못 본 거겠죠. 아무도 못 봤지?
이 스며들 듯한
And sun shower.
우산이 새지나 않나 모르겠어.
Oh, I didn't see ads were going. This fight's really slow anyway.
당신에겐 제가 어떻게 보일까요? 시간의 태엽 안에
Should use this to drink
그
water
답이
though.
있을까요?
What do you wish for? I refuse.
헤세드 같은 놈들은 이 광경을 좀 봐야 해. 환상체 가두고 에너지 짜는 회사에서 이 정도 전투 능력은 있어줘야지.
If I deal enough damage, then the signpost will be destroyed. And that's all that really matters right now.
빠르게 처리하지.
Kinda just brute forcing this for right now. Kosan.
이 파괴 이제 좀 볼만하네. 자, 기회 주지 말고 계속 제압으로 이어가.
이런 빈틈 꿰뚫어주지.
있는 힘껏 찔러놓고 으깨놨지만 저것들은 언젠가 다시 재생하겠지.
Insane.
내가 부서지고 파괴되어도 다시 교체되는 것처럼. 이 얼마나 완벽한 그지없는.
I say, oh, this battle's long, and then Gregor just decimates it in 5 seconds. I hate all of these. I genuinely hate all of these. Base power, final power. I take these, because I'd rather take that than final. Time killing time is Pierce focus, but it's also tremor focus. Abnormal seismic zone. The unchanging, the heartbreaking. Time killing might be better. Four Houses of Greed would also be funny. Yeah, I think I'll do Four Houses of Greed. just to really wrap things up with being very thematically resonant, as I like to keep saying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I kind of really want to switch her out, but
멀지 않게 조심하도록.
I'm not really getting much of a good opportunity to.
얌전히 잠들어 있어야 할 놈들까지
나선 속을 벗어날 수는 없다. 자! 하! 헥! 삼! 앵화!
징계팀 직원이라면 당연한 판단이겠네. 나를 따른 칭찬을 생략하는 게 좋겠지.
이번엔 네 놈인가? 흠, 나도
그대로
버리겠어.
꿰어소리라.
그래, 그렇게 가라앉지 않을 분노를 담는 거야.
Should be fine,
오늘은 쓸데없이
relatively
말을 내릴
speaking.
필요 없겠어.
She's on blue. So up, down, okay. Up, down, up, there.
꿰뚫어 퍼지리.
스며드는군.
주인께서 명하셨습니다. 당신을 청소하라고.
And that still triggered Kozan.
아메스코!
이거 봐, 환상체를 제압하는 건 우리만으로 충분하잖아.
Barely staggered, nice.
빈틈 투성이군. 스틸레터. 빈틈 투성이군.
헤세드 같은 놈들은 이 광경을 좀 봐야 해.
I think
환상체 가두고 에너지 짜는 회사에서 이 정도 전투 능력은 있어줘야지. 복지 애들만 데리고선 뭘 한다.
탈출 개체 확인.
I think Ish is easily the more fun one to use.
왕의 비움을 하사한다.
개체가 약화된 것 같습니다.
Like Ish's kit, Hanafuda Ish is the one that I like the most easily. But no, I also really like the Gregor one. The Gregor one's incredibly fun, purely from like a very self-sufficient standpoint, and the application of haste and using it with various other, and applying that with debuffs that you're also applying onto the enemy. Like he feels as oppressively strong with
당신 짝패군요.
with Pierce abilities as the Owl's captain should.
내가 너를 위해 기도할 것이니
Although he
넌 반드시 부서지.
probably a little bit more powerful than the Ruin counterpart. But he's also a little bit more cool, so I think that's a fair trade-off.
산코.
Kozan is so satisfying.
경외감 속에 숨어. 진비경.
자세가 모르겠니? 자비에 감사하다.
피가 튀고. 시선에 눈이 멀지 않도록.
헤세드 같은 놈들은 이 광경을 좀 봐야 해. 환상체 가두고 에너지 짜는
She would need a
회사에서
red.
이 정도 전투 능력은 있어줘야지.
당신
팀 애들만
짝패군요.
데리고서 뭘 한다고?
He's fine.
자세가 모르겠니?
벗어날 수 있다고 생각했나?
있는 힘껏
He has to
찔러서
instantly go on the
굴뚝이지만
Pierce team though. Like,
저것들은 언젠가 다시 재생하겠지.
I need to put him on my Pierce team for EXP locks.
이 얼마나 완벽하기 그지없는 나만의 지옥인가?
제압을 준비합니다.
Four houses.
얌전히 잠들어 있어야 할 놈들까지 눈을 떠버렸나?
Hers needs to be red.
퍼레이드와 피날레.
Oh, right. I wouldn't have ever seen this one before.
이 구속구가 나의 폭력을 저지하기엔 턱없이 모자르지.
It is one of the early Will Perks ones, so that's why it's probably not very, I want to say, as grand.
그래, 그렇게 가라앉지 않을 분노를 담는 거야. 오늘은 쓸데없이 말을 내릴 필요
Active Eco's
없겠어.
passives, Regret. This unit's leftmost skill on the dashboard loses 1 base power and gains 2 coin power. At the start of turn, the speed is -4, game plan power up. So it's leftmost, so basically now that is rolling a 4.
빠르게 처리하지.
Wait, no, for coin power. Ooh. No, that's really good. Damn. So the more coins that one just has, the better it is. And then if it's also using blunt, then that's just additional.
당연한 판단이긴 해. 잘했다는 칭찬은 생략하는 게 좋겠지. 한 상체는 피해를 받을 뿐 소멸하지 않아. 죽지도 않을 목숨.
She needs red. Pride, pride.
고통스럽게 만들어 보자고.
퍼레이드와 따스한 피.
Kosan? That's so satisfying.
자세가 무너졌니? 자비의 감사도. 빈틈 투성이군. 여기다. 허술하군. 빈틈 투성이군.
Like, they really carried over how much more pierce power he has than literally anybody, but the fact that it's a ramp up stops it from just being overpowering from the start. Once you still get there, you definitely feel like you're still cleaving through literally everybody. But the slight bit of build up helps make it feel, I want to say, fair. And that also works with Snack Harpoon.
나만의 항해 방식.
And then I get a Kozan.
아메스코.
Yeah, no, Ishmael feels very rewarding for really smart play. Or at least being at, like, baseline paying attention to what your... to what color is flashing. Funnily enough, it reminds me more of Ruina. Where, like, I feel like I have to make do with the current situation. Especially to work with the cards that are currently in my possession. Like this, I'm better off. That. Actually, I'm better off doing Snack Harpoon. I feel like I'm better off doing Snack Harpoon.
행진했고 이것이 서곡의 피날레다. 왕의
자세가 무너졌니?
하사한다.
자비의 감사도.
Yeah, because if I get that, then it's still a... That's an easy stagger.
내가 찾은
And then that
나만의
also
항해
works for my That works for my card.
벗어날 수 있다고 생각했나?
있는 힘껏 찔러놓고 으깨놨지만 저것들은 언젠가 다시 재생하겠지. 내가 부서지고 파괴되어도
I really like that art.
다시
It's really
교체된
good.
것처럼. 이 얼마나 완벽하게 그지없는 나만의 지옥인가.
Either of these are still just gonna be bad regardless.
발버둥 칠 수밖에.
I feel like I'm kind of fighting uphill,
얌전히 잠들어 있어야 할 놈들까지.
even though that is kind of what I expected.
꿰뚫어 퍼지리.
I'd rather do this for a free win.
내 팔은 뼈에 있었어.
Why does Gregor keep getting the ones that look... He keeps getting the ego and the IDs that genuinely look really good. Like, it makes him... It cleans him up so well.
정신교육의 효과가 보이는군.
Red.
보다시피 직원들의 증오심은 환상체를 쳐죽이는 원동력이다. 당장이라도 갈아 마시려는
Kinda not what...
마음에 들어.
Okay, we'll make this work.
빠르게 처리하지.
Spending a whole lot of ego just to not take damage just one turn.
석구가 나의 폭력을 저지하기엔 턱없이 모자르지.
태우고 싶은 것을 태울 뿐이요.
징계팀 직원이라면 가난한 판단이긴 해. 잘했다는 칭찬은 생략하는 게 좋겠지?
How is that one not... whatever.
환상체는 피해를 받을 뿐
She
소멸하지
is still in red.
죽지도 않을 목숨 최대한 고통스럽게 만들어 보자고.
She can't really do much though, so she's better off shuffling.
빠르게 처리하지.
행진했고 이것이 서곡의 피날레다.
I think Gregor's the one dealing the most damage, and it's not even close.
자세가 무너졌니?
하사한다.
자비에 감사하도록.
My only question is just how much damage is Gregor doing?
빈틈투성이군.
Because it's a lot.
이것 봐. 환상체를 제압하는 건
Because it's a whole lot. Shuffle, she is on blue. Still sucks.
꿰뚫어 퍼지리.
코이코이.
Like, this is the most that I've had to shuffle so far. That Pierce power up by 2 is what allowed him to win that clash.
빈틈투성이군. 스틸레터. 자세가 무너졌니? 자비에 감사하도록.
좋아.
That has to be, no, 3 of 11, so there's still so much more, so many more.
때까지 최대한 아파하게 만들라고.
Offset, but I'll at least let you hit.
빠르게 처리하지.
따스한 피. 그래, 눈높이를 낮춰라.
Kosan.
아메스코.
자세가 모르겠니?
Yeah, and then he's just finishing them off.
경외감 속에 숨어. 좋아. 코이코이.
There we go. I would have been upset if that one made it through.
폭죽 소리
1, 2, 3, 4. These are the last ones.
방금 상황 녹화되어 있냐고 물어봐.
She is using yellow.
장관님에게도 증명할 수 있을 거야.
I think this is fine.
희날다 산피 눈높이를 낮춰라 왕의 베르주에 왕의 비 하산
자세가 모르겠니? 자비에 감사도.
Greg is just doing most of the work at this point. Like, even on targets that aren't ones that he's looking at. He's just finishing the job.
틈투성이군. 여기가 허술하군.
Even on things that are his target.
있는 힘껏 찔러놓고 으깨놨지만
Like, I need to see how much damage he's dealing. He is cracked.
부서지고 파괴되어도 다시 교체되는 것처럼 이게 얼마나 완벽하기 그지없는
Gluttony and Gloom. The two that I have the least of. So let's see how strong I can just brute force this then.
얌전히 잠들어 있어야 할 놈들까지 눈을 떠버렸나?
This will be fine.
퍼레이드와 희날
빈틈투성이군. 여기가 허술하군.
팀 직원이라면 당연한
I say very trepidatiously, but it But no, it should be okay.
정신교육의 효과가 보이는군. 보다시피 직원들의
She is attacking with yellow.
원동력이다. 당신에게도 바람마시라는 저 눈빛 마음에 들어.
I'm sitting straight, but I will use the water. Thank you.
괴물이요? 무슨 잘못 본 거겠죠. 못 봤지?
Thankfully, it doesn't feel like it's hurting as much now.
피가 튀고. 이것 봐. 환상체를 제압하는 건 우리만으로 충분하잖아.
허술하군. 자비에 감사도.
Thank you for lurking
햇세대
coffee.
같은 놈들은 이 광경을
Actually,
좀
that
봐야
reminded
해.
me that I could actually lower
환상체
the
가지고 에너지 짜는 회사에서
BGM and keep the voices up a little.
복지팀 애들만 데리고선 뭘
But yeah,
한다고.
thank you for stopping by. I hope you rest well.
꿰뚫어 퍼지리.
Oh, that was enough for Kozan.
다른 부서에 있는 애고까지 가져오길 잘했지. 적재적소했으니까 이만큼 효율적인 일도 없잖아.
여기가 네 약점인가?
These characters just pick
햇세대 같은
the
놈들은
funniest
이
times to
광경을 좀 봐야
always.
해. 환상체 가두고 에너지 짜는 회사에서 이 정도 전투 능력은 있어줘야지.
퍼레이드와
복지팀 애들만 데리고
To always lose coin flips when they have max sanity.
눈높이를 낮춰라
빈틈투성이군. 스틸레터. 허술하군.
깊은 수면에
Very
빠지지.
defensive 이 song. I
상황이
like it.
끝나면 티페리트에게 방금 상황 녹화되어 있냐고 물어봐. 이 정도면 엔젤라님에게도 증명할 수 있을 거야. 이 일에 토끼 따위의 협력은 필요하지 않다는 걸.
Wait, that's a purple. I'm not sure what to parse from that.
행진의 꽃. 이것이 서곡의 피날레다. 왕의 비호
자세가 무너졌니?
하사한다.
자비에 감사하다.
That's not good.
여기서 멈출 필요 없어. 우리는 충분히 계속 싸울 수 있으니까.
I hate those guys.
폭죽 소리가 들리는
시끄러워!
것 같군.
계속 싸울 수 있다고 했잖아.
때가 왔다.
진짜 왜 이 피가 처먹을 몸뚱이는 내 마음대로 움직이질 않는 건데 도대체 왜?
Fighting, clawing, and thrashing until the bitter end. Wait a second. She's at...
탈출 개체 확인.
Because she's at 7. She'll be at 7.
눈높이를 낮춰라. 왕 베르투레.
Unless...
왕의
자세가
비호
무너졌니?
하사한다.
자비에 감사하도록.
이대로 네
Sir,
총알을 맞는 것도 나를
this is excessive.
믿지 마.
있는 힘껏 찔러놓고
He had no reason to shoot her.
저것들은 언젠가 다시 재생하겠지.
I'm just really lucky that I guarded that.
파괴되어도 다시 교체되는 것처럼. 이 얼마나 완벽하게 그지
제압을
없는
준비합니다.
나만의 지옥인가.
Slashing. As long as I make sure to heal Ish after this, then I'll be fine.
얌전히 잠들어 있어야 할 놈들까지.
It's also another wave encounter.
버렸나?
10. She's at yellow.
빠르게 처리하지.
No, I just have to make these work.
괴물이요? 무슨 잘못 본 거겠죠. 아무도 못 봤지?
Tentacles.
이딴 개패가
I didn't notice the counter.
정신교육의 효과가 보이는군. 보다시피 직원들의 증오심은 환상체를
She's
쳐주기는
relatively
원동력이야.
safe.
당장이라도 갈아마시려는 저 눈빛 마음에 들어.
What are you weak to? You're weak to slash, so I'm better off still just using the base skills that he has. She's better off using eyes.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
행진의 꽃. 이것이 서곡의 피날레다. 왕의 비호
이것 봐. 환상체를 제압하는 건 우리만으로 충분하잖아.
지켜보고 있었지.
징계팀 직원이라면 당연한 판단이긴 해. 잘했다는 칭찬은 생략하는 게
빈틈
좋겠지.
투성이군. 스틸레터. 허술하군.
구멍투성이가 되어
여기가 허술하군. 자비에 감사하도록.
상황이 끝나면 티페리트에게
That's one.
상황
The rest are
녹화되어
almost
있냐고 물어봐.
dead.
이 정도면 엔젤라님에게도 증명할 수 있을 거야. 이 일에
Now I'm just being
도끼
very
따위의 힘은
cautious.
필요하지 않다는 걸.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
따스한 피. 그래. 눈높이를 낮춰라.
자세가 무너졌니? 자비의 감사도. 여기가 네 약점이.
좋아, 이대로 다 끝장내는 거야. 한 번에
Sweep
터뜨리지 마.
and then one more.
알로 돌아갈 때까지 최대한 아파하게 만들라고.
당신
따스한
싹해군요.
스며든 나는 가족이 되기 약하고.
Bygone days.
주인께서 명하셨습니다. 당신은 청소하라고. 사물. 앵화.
And then Kozan.
산콕.
That's such a nice cap. Like, if you can just line that up really well, that's just a bunch of free extra damage.
경외감 속에 숨어
왜 징계팀이 남아있지?
진빛형.
Extremely potent too.
시선에 눈이 멀지 않도록.
상황이 끝나면 티피리트에게 방금 상황 녹화되어 있냐고 물어봐. 이 정도면
나선
엔젤라님에게
속을 벗어날 수
Uh-oh, something's wrong.
이 일에 도끼 따위의 힘은
왕의 비호.
필요하지
자세가 무너졌니?
하사한다.
올인이었나? 이번엔 네 눈은 나도
그대로 꿰어소리라.
내가 구석에
그대로 꿰어소리라.
있는
I
힘껏 찔러놓고
should have kept
있었지만
track of that. That was entirely my fault.
언젠가 다시 재생하겠지. 내가 부서지고 파괴되어도 다시 교체되는 것처럼.
The fault with that entirely
이
lies
얼마나
with me.
완벽하게 그지없는 나만의 지옥인가.
Thank you, Yisong. Thank you, Yisong, my beloved. That was very, very sweet of you. Nebulizer. Only the +2 difference. I'd rather just use for something with Pierce. Because 1, I don't need Rupture. 2, I don't need this. I'm not gonna need this. When did I get the dueling manual? I won't need tomorrow's promise. I can sell that. Is there any additional skills that I can increase? Increase damage to staggered enemies. I'll take that.
저들은 전율하리라.
I might have been better off just putting Honglu in the last slot entirely. Now that I think about it. Oh, what's his face?
잠들어 있어야 할 놈들까지 눈을 떠버렸나?
She's with red. Anything that would be good on him?
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없.
I should have double checked a couple skills.
수많은 것들이 옥죄어 온다.
Chains of others helps set that up.
낙맥 충전 최대치예요.
Tremor and bind.
정신교육의 효과가 보이는군. 보다시피 직원들의 증오심은 환상체를 쳐죽이는 원동력이다. 당장이라도 갈아마시려는 저 눈빛 마음에 들어.
What is this color? Red. Hang on. What if I do that, then switch that to you, and then switch you? No. I might just have to do. So if Yusung's dealing with that. No, he's still better off with this. Or Cry.
탈출 개체 확인.
When did you get a shield?
행진의 꽃. 이것이 서독의 피날레다. 왕의
징계팀
길.
직원이라면 당연한
가사한다.
판단이긴 해. 잘했다는 칭찬은 생략하는 게 좋겠지?
이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
Because they all should be slower than her.
지켜보고 있었지.
상체는 피해를 받을 뿐 소멸하지 않아.
She should be close to Kozan, which means
최대한 고통스럽게 만들어 보자고.
neutral, neutral. She really doesn't have much going on here.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
Kozan.
조금 무르긴 했지만 제압은 성공적이었어. 뭐 별건
Short
아니었지.
circuitry
안 그래?
countercurrent. Is she still on a rod? Don't know. I'd rather just get the guaranteed win on this. Actually, yeah, that's fine.
퍼레이드와 휘날레.
Rolling awfully high for having negative sanity.
좋아. 코이코이.
Kozan.
아메스코.
이것 봐. 환상체를 제압하는 건 우리만으로 충분하잖아.
경외감 속에 숨어대. 진빛형.
자세가 무너졌니? 자비의 감사도.
You can be mad about your guy dying all day. That's not gonna stop you from dying either.
빈틈투성이군. 스켈레터. 허술하군.
That might kill him.
당신에겐 제가 어떻게 보일까요? 시간의 태엽 안에 그 답이 있을까요?
As long as she keeps hitting heads. He is barely alive.
헤세드 같은 놈들은 이
Oh, it
광경을
does
좀
not matter.
봐야 해. 환상체 가두고 에너지 짜는 회사에서 이 정도 전투 능력은 있어줘야지. 복지팀 애들만 데리고서 뭘 한다고?
당신 짝패군은
자세가 무너졌니? 자비의 감사도.
사물. 엠화.
빈틈투성이군.
상황이 끝나면 티페리트에게 방금 상황 녹화되어
This
있냐고
annoying
물어봐.
guy.
이 정도면 엔젤라님이
She's at blue.
이 일에 토끼 따위의 협력은 필요하지 않다는 거.
why would you be focused on Mare? Bad. I thought she had a little bit better sanity for it. Then this opens up execution to kill that one guy. So that's one less person I have to worry about.
수많은 것들이 옥죄어 온다. 왕의 비호를 하사한다.
Wait, am I gonna get Kosan off of this?
나만의 항해 방식.
이래서 장비는 속성별로 준비해달라고 부탁해놓은 거지. 적게 접수했으니까 이만큼 효율적인 일도 없잖아.
자세가 무너졌네. 빈틈투성이군. 빈틈투성이군.
Gotta admit, didn't expect that.
무불아위.
상황이 끝나면 티페리트에게 방금 상황 녹화되어 있냐고 물어봐. 이 정도면 엔젤라님에게도 증명할 수 있을 거야. 이 일에 토끼 따위의 협력은 필요하지 않다는 거.
Also do Cry. Oh, that's gonna hit all regardless. And she's yellow. No, this all overlap. This is all perfect. This is getting Crow Eye, which means you get this. Crow Eye gets you.
빠르게 처리하지.
증기압축 피스톤 압력 제한 해제.
Put them all in the
관측 완료
contraption.
시간 더 계산 완료. 축적된 과거 변형. 모먼트 값 유지. 발사. 왕의 피.
여기가
제압 개체에게 맞는 공격 수단도 못 고르면서 왜 징계팀이 남아있지?
For the most part, this is going smoothly.
개체가 약화되는 것 같아.
자세가 무너졌네. 자비에 감사도.
헤세드 같은 놈들은 이 광경을 좀 봐야 해. 환상체 가두고 에너지 짜는 회사에서
So these are the last five.
있어줘야지. 복지팀 애들만 데리고선 뭘 한다고?
It's better off going against that one. These ones I just need people to kill.
당신 짝패군요.
Isan is going to be 6 turn memory.
약하군.
If the last skill goes out, then he gets 7.
네 약점인가? 빈틈투성이군. 스틸레터.
Not 7.
헤세드 같은 놈들은 이 광경을 좀 봐야 해. 환상체 가두고 에너지 짜는 회사에서 이 정도 전투 능력은 있어줘야지. 복지팀 애들만 데리고서 뭘 한다고?
탈출 개체 확인.
왕의
He's
뷰
close to dead.
하사한다.
사물.
Perfect.
산코.
빈틈투성이군.
헤세드 같은 놈들은 이 광경을 좀 봐야 해. 환상체 가두고 에너지
Let's go,
짜는
let's
회사에서
go.
이 정도
She's
전투
all the way at the
능력은
end though.
있어줘야지.
Damn it.
복지팀 애들만 데리고서 뭘 한다고?
What can I do? Because she's still going for red. Resistant to Pierce, but what matters is that I get rid of your little cronies.
당신 짝패군요.
행진의 꽃. 이것이 서곡의 피날레다.
As long as they don't annoy me. I
하사한다.
think getting rid of the big guy in the center is the main thing.
이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
Because Yoshu still needs to build up, still needs to build up gaze. But if she can, that's a chance for a really big cash out.
시간의 태엽 안에 그 답이 있을까요?
상황이 끝나면 티페리트에게 방금 상황 녹화되어
Yusung
있냐고
also
물어봐.
needs...
이 정도면
Yeah, I see it coming up.
증명할 수 있을 거야. 이 일에 토끼 따위의 협력은 필요하지 않다는 거.
This turn and next. Okay. Is that only attacking? That's only attacking his guys and then Ryoshu. Your prerogative, but sure, I guess. He also has a clashable counter. It's just on yellow. Which might give her a reason to use this. Oh, actually... No. Well, maybe. That might be the smart thing to do. But what I'll actually do... if I guard this, then it offsets it, and I still get the shuffle.
휘날래.
And I still get a Tremor Burst.
능력을 저지하기엔 왕의 턱없이 모자르지. 하사한다.
당신에겐 제가 어떻게 보일까요? 시간의 태엽 안에 그 답이 있을까요?
Come on, you're the one that I'm setting this entirely up for.
뿌려져라. 추악한 모든 시선이 이끌릴지어다. 복지팀에서 저만 배치된 거야? 그렇지 않고서야 이런 황당한 선택을 할 리가 없는데.
Are you a welfare team transfer or something?
태우고 싶은 곳을 태울 뿐이요.
That's certainly a creative insult, that's to say the least.
좋아, 이대로 다 끝장내는 거야. 한 번에 터뜨리지 마.
Don't fetch them up too fast. Make them suffer until they're nothing but X again. Hi, Effie. I don't know why you're talking about Wiener Schnitzel. I'd rather just guard here. Because if she guards... Because the enemy is content? Yeah, no, she'll be fine. Do this, and then do this.
탈출 개체 확인.
따스한 피그를 눈먼 피를 낮춰라. 왕의
자세가 무너졌네.
하사한
자비에 감사하다.
409.
이대로 네 총알을
Do it.
놓는 것도 나르는 예술이지만 아직 공동 유작을 남길 때는 아닌 것 같고.
안아, 울때.
있는 힘껏 찔러놓고 으깨놨지만
I've been dreaming about SMT.
언젠가 다시 재생하겠지.
Sometimes it's a fun experience whenever you've been playing something.
파괴되어도 다시
I died to a
부수는
super
것처럼
boss last night. Yeah, that's the SMT experience,
이
unfortunately.
얼마나 완벽하기 그지없는
서두르지.
나만의
수습이
지옥인가.
늦어지네.
Hurry up.
여기서 살아남는 게
Surviving this long will have been for nothing. Book of the Index. Wasn't half bad. We did manage to take care of this, right?
일 마무리가 나쁘지.
With this, we won't be purged to the very least.
이걸로 숙청은 명.
He did an insane amount of damage. That's nuts. But then Ishmael wasn't too far behind, and that's seeing something considering that I mostly had Pierce stuff. Damn, no. Owl Gregor is kinda cracked.
He
has a lot going for him. And Clefin. Oh my god, that's gonna be going for a while. Yeah, and that's all just using Enclefin, so that's just playing. But there's nothing for me to really grind though. 777. 69 boxes, even though I have nothing to really use them on. I could probably use them to, I could probably use them to finish up tying a couple things, but I'll worry about that very likely later. No, that's a very fun team. Middle little brother. That's a very fun team. Oh, I also have to put... you here and put you here, then that also means that snack carpen's a lot better too. My voice slightly, very slightly better. Close that even though I was doing like a few more things, but that's done for now. My voice is very slightly better, but like no, I'm going to be very happy when I can finally rest. Because this finally marks the end of my streamathon. Going for 31 days straight. There's probably a reason why my voice is like utterly in shambles. So I'm going to take the next couple days. I'm going to use the next couple days and just rest. Because God, I need it. But yeah. I am happy I got everything that I wanted done. I am now more aware for what I should be doing next time. And yeah, I made it 31 days, and now I get to finally rest. Some flashcards. I'll just use my phone like Salty. Honestly, that gives me an excuse to do that. It wouldn't be the first time that I've done that. But yeah, I'm going to basically try to use my voice as little as possible. Which means I'm also going to raid out. I see Intern playing Minecraft. No, and he's in the best part, at the very least, of finding a really cool Australian VTuber is the fact that at these horrible late hours, there's at least consistently one cool guy I can raid into. So yeah, thank you for spending time with me, especially throughout this entire streamathon for going 31 days. I'm going to take a rest. I will be doing some streams. Well done on making it to the end. Thank you. I definitely started feeling it a little bit more towards the end. But yeah. Damn. Made it to the end. I'm going to use the next couple days to rest. I thought I was going to stream on Friday. I'm probably not. The stream schedule will be very short for next week because I am going to a con the following weekend, so hopefully my voice will be fine by then. But yes, thank you for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. The atelier is closed. You do not need to go home, but you can't stay here. Feel free to join the Discord down below. And yeah, I can at least leave you in good hands. So let's check out Intern. Johnny!